Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the second part of section 8.3, Multiplying Polynomials. We're going to get started right away with number one with a little review, all right, how we multiply two binomials together. Now I'm going to take this first term and multiply it to the first term of the second guy, so we get z squared, and then I go back to the first term and I multiply it to 12, so I get minus 12z. And now, since I multiplied this guy by all the terms in the second binomial, I'm going to now move to the next number, my negative 6, and multiply it to the z, so it's negative 6z. And then staying with that negative 6 to make sure I multiply it to everything in that second one, so it's going to be a plus 48. And now we just combine like terms here, so it's z squared, then here turns into minus 18z plus 48. Now today we're going to add just a little bit to that. We're going to add another term to our binomial, which would make it a trinomial. This is a trinomial, this is a binomial. So now we're multiplying binomial times a trinomial. Well, it's the same exact process. Now we just have to take this 6x to one more term in that polynomial. So that very first one we do, we take this 6x times 2x squared, and now remember we're multiplying that 6 and the 2, so it's going to be a 12x cubed because we add the exponents. Now we're moving on to the next term in the polynomial to give us a negative 18x squared. Then we're moving on to the last term in the polynomial to get a negative 30x, and then now we move on. We multiplied everything that we can by that 6. Now we have to move on to the 5. So now we multiply that 5 times 2x squared to give us a 10x squared. Then we multiply it here to give us a negative 15x, and then the very last guy is a negative 25. Now with something like this, there's just a little bit more cleanup that we have to do. We have to find all of our like terms. So this is my lone x cubed term, so it's 12x cubed. Now we're going on to squares. Well, there's a square and there's a square. And so now this is a negative 1, this is positive, so it turns into a negative 8. And now we keep our same exponent because it's like adding apples, adding bananas, adding fruits. So it's a negative 8x squared. We do nothing with that exponent when we add or subtract them. Now here we have some x's. So here's a negative 30x. Here is a negative 15x. So we combine them to get a negative 45x, again keeping the same exponent, and then finally negative 25. So now right here is our solution, is our product to number 2. This is our answer when we multiply all this stuff out. Let's try another one with number 3. Again, start with 3x, and we're going to take this 3x here to give me 6x cubed. We're going to take that again to the middle term, so it's now a plus 21x squared, and then the last term, which gives us a negative 24x. Now we have to do it to the last term in the first polynomial, so now we have to take that last term to everyone in this polynomial, so it is a negative 10x squared. Here it is a minus 35x, and then finally is a positive, because it's two negatives being multiplied together, it's a positive 40. Now again, let's clean some of this up. It's our lone 6x cubed, then we have a x squared, we have another x squared right here. They combine to give us a positive 11x squared. Our exponents do not change. Then here we have a negative 24x and a negative 35x, so they combine together to give us a negative 59x, and then lastly is plus 40. So again, there is our product. Here's our product for number 3. Let's try a couple more. Now we have two trinomials, a trinomial here and a trinomial here being multiplied together. All right? Don't panic, it's exactly the same as number 3, just with an extra term. It's exactly the same of what we did yesterday, just with an extra term here and a term there. So follow the same process. I'm going to start right here, and I'm going to multiply it to that to give me a 4m. Remember to add the exponents to the 4th. I'm going to take that same guy and multiply it to the middle one to give me a negative 7m cubed. And then again, from there I'm going to take it all the way over to the other end to give me a plus 5m squared. Next, I'm going to go to the middle guy. So now the middle guy here goes to the same terms. So it's going to be a plus 8m cubed. Again, middle guy going to the middle guy, so it's going to be a negative 14m squared. And then finally the middle guy to the last guy to give me a plus 10m. And now finally, we've reached the end. We have this negative 3. We have to take that to the first term to give us a negative 12m squared. Then we have to take that negative 3 times there to give us a plus 21m, because it's a negative times a negative. And I do have enough room left to show you that we have a negative 3 times a positive 5, so it's now negative 15. Right? Yes, it is a lot of work. It does require some thinking. And now we just have to simplify. There is nothing here with an m to the 4th, so it's 4m to the 4th. Now, how many cubes do we have? Well, here I have a cube. Here I have a cube. Do I have any more? No. But I am left with plus m cubed. How about m squared? It does take a little bit more simplifying. Well, there's an m squared. Here's another m squared. Do I have any more? You bet. I have another m squared right here. So we combine all those guys to get a negative 21m squared. And then we have a m and an m that we have to combine. So it's plus 31m. And then we have our lone constant, which is negative 15. Moving on, we're going to try another example here with number 5. Now we have x plus 2y, and that quantity is all squared. But before we get into this, we have to stop and think about this now, because what does this square mean? How many do we have of these? So we have x squared. It is x times x, remember, to give me x squared. So now when we go back to this, we have to make sure that we go x plus 2y times x plus 2y. We have to please make sure, please make a note, circle this, do your thing, do what you have to remember this, but we have to write it out twice. And so now when we do this, we have it written out twice. It's just like multiplying two binomials. So it's going to be x squared, then we have that same x times there to give me plus 2xy. Now we're moving on to the 2y, go there to give me plus 2yx, and then there times there to give me plus 4y squared. Now we can combine some like terms. Here we have an x squared. Now they look very similar, don't they? Are they the same thing? Well, it is 3 times 4, that is 12. What is 4 times 3? That is also 12. So y times x must be the same thing as x times y. So we have the same apple, so it's 4xy plus 4y squared. Now, we have to be very conscientious, I can't say that word, so I'm not going to try again, that we don't do one of these things there and there, because it won't give us the same answer, right? It would give us a x squared plus 4y squared. Is this the same as this? No, it's not. So, guys, pay attention really quickly. This is not your answer. That is no good. And then the very last example here, hang in there, you're doing great. Find an expression to represent the area of each shaded region. All right, so I'm going to find the shaded region here and here, what their total is. So what I first have to do is find the total area of, if I can trace the rectangle. Well, I obviously didn't pass preschool with my tracing, but now I'm going to find the area of what's inside that green rectangle. So how do I find that? Well, first of all, I know that my area is length times width. So the area of this rectangle, my length would be, let's start with our length. So here we have 3, so I'm going to write down 3 plus what else? Well, how far is from here to there? That is what? 2x, so it's plus 2x. And then here to here is 3, so it's plus 3. So that's my length so far. Now what's my width? Again, what is my width? Here to here is what? Well, I don't have a length there. I move over from here to here is 2x. Here has to be the same distance from here because it's a rectangle. So it's going to be times 2x. So now let's simplify before we multiply all this out. So the area of the rectangle is going to be 2x plus 6 times 2x. We multiply it out to give us 4x squared plus 12x. So the area of the green rectangle is 4x squared plus 12x. Okay, again, it's all of that. Now we have to take out the white region. So we are now taking out this region here. Right? Again, I'm showing off my great tracing skills, but we're taking out that white region. So now we have to find the area of the square. Again, area is still length times width. What is my length? Right? What is my length from here to here? It's 2x. So it's 2x. What is my width? It is also 2x. So I take that times 2x. So now I get 4x squared. So now we're not quite done yet. What do I have to do with that 4x squared and this 4x squared plus 12x? Remember, we're trying to find the area of the shaded region. So this whole thing would be shaded, but what do we have to take out? We have to take out this white area. So we have to, how do we take out in math? We have to subtract this from this. So let's go ahead and do that really quickly. I have 4x squared plus 12x, and then I'm going to subtract. I'm subtracting 4x squared, and so now we have to find the expression. We found that expression to be 12x. That represents the shaded area. You could also throw in units, so if this was feet, it's not, but if it is, this unit would be feet squared. It would be 12x feet squared. Or if it was inches, it would be inches squared. But that does it for part 2 of section 8.3, multiplying polynomials. Good day.